Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 Manager on the Culture Left Foot Let's Play channel. Now I'm thinking about potentially doing some other games on here. This channel is just for games that I enjoy playing, and you know, there's not going to be daily videos. We're going to see how it goes, see what we can do. So if there's any games that you're interested in seeing me play, let me know in the comment section below. Obviously this is a small channel, but it is growing with F1 Manager and the videos we're putting out. So back to the video then. We are taking on Suzuka today, and we're in this battle with Alfa Romeo for 4th place. 7 points is the difference. That's what we need to beat Alfa Romeo by to get back into 4th place. And Alonso and Guan Yu Zhou doing okay. We have sort of stopped development on the car for this year. We've got a front wing coming in 19 days, but we're doing more sort of research on next year's car to try and get us into, well, the points really, a bit more consistently into the podium places. That's what we need for next year. But going into this weekend, we're going to be going into Suzuka, and hopefully we can get a good qualifying position. We're not going to go for the fastest lap. We never do that. And finish position streak is back on, and we're still on for the qualifying position streak as well. So hopefully we can do a good race. That's what we want really today. Yeah, we've got 3 side pods. We could technically upgrade the side pods. We are going for a new front wing though at the moment. Suspension could probably do with a bit of an upgrade as well potentially, but maybe we leave it for next year. We've got good components we can put in the car as well. So let's get into Suzuka. I'll do practice. We'll be back for qualifying. So with practice finished, we are moving on to qualifying. Good setups for both drivers. 100% confidence for Zhou, who had one little lock-up damage to front wing, but it's fine. He's got a new one on the car, as you can see. All looking good. All the good engine parts are fitted. Let's get into qualifying. We should be in a pretty decent position to get probably Zhou into Q2 and Alonso into Q3. That would be lovely. Right, so we're going to get Guan Yu Zhou out early doors. Let him set a little lap time and see what he can do. And we're actually just going to wait. We're going to get Alonso out once everyone else has sort of cleaned the track up a little bit. Guan Yu Zhou will be our guinea pig to see what sort of time he can set in his nice... yeah, the Aston Martin car's come on a long way. Half a second off Leclerc, Hulkenberg well behind us, Gasly in front, Stroll in front of us, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah, so we're just going to let the track clear up a little bit. We had a lot of wet weather during practice, which was really, really irritating, but... He, yeah, you know, he got in the way a little bit of Fernando Alonso setting his time. Can we get through on a used set? We probably can, so let's put them back on there. In fact, I might just do one run with Fernando because there's no issues at the moment. So I think we're going to risk it and just do a one-lap wonder with Fernando Alonso. Guan Yu Zhou currently in 8th. So if this is how it sits, we'll easily be... Well, Sainz and Verstappen, you'd imagine, would go ahead. Although Verstappen with a 4... What? Verstappen has... He must have gone wide. He must have run wide somewhere because that's a terrible time. But, yeah, Zhou, 1, 2, 3. Hamilton, imagine, will go above us. Verstappen will go above us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd say there's 5 drivers there below us, so Zhou should be good. But we will send him out again on those used tyres just to see what he can do. What is it? 127. Everyone's starting to go out now, so let's go. Let's put Zhou in the middle of the pack somewhere like that. And Fernando will send out... Well, I think he's going to be right behind his teammate. He is, so it doesn't really make a difference. Right, both drivers should get through relatively comfortable. Obviously, Alonso not set a time, but will set a speedy time behind his teammate on this one. I'm pretty sure of that. So, oh, there was a yellow flag. That could put Alonso in trouble. Alonso's through. Zhou's out. Zhou, the man that did 2 runs, is out in 16th. That is awful. Fernando Alonso got through in 12th, so he's pretty close to the top as well, or to the top 10. But Guan Yu Zhou, that is not very good at all from Guan Yu Zhou. We're going to put Fernando onto those soft compounds again, as we've only used 1 set so far. So let's get into Q2, see what Fernando can do. We're going to send him out straight away. Oh, someone's going with us there. Lando Norris.
I think it's okay.
Going out nice and early. Is there any wet weather due? No. Sunshine in Japan for qualifying. So Alonso will start his fast lap now. What can he do? Lovely figure of 8 track in Suzuka. It is a lovely, lovely track. Only 2/10 off Norris. But yeah, a whole second over Verstappen, which is annoying. I can't believe Zhou went out in Q1. That's very, very odd there. So I'm not expecting this time to be anything special from Alonso. Setting it on a used set. If he can get into the top 10 on a U set, I'd be very, very excited by that. I mean, he's only in 11th at the moment. Probably will go 12th when Russell sets his time. Yeah, and Perez is only just above us as well. So lots of things we'll have to keep an eye on there. Is who was that just left? Albon's left very early doors to go and set his time. He is currently bottom, but yeah, that's very early from Alexander Albon. Here goes everyone else as Russell just comes in. So I don't think Russell... I mean, Russell may get to set another time. I feel like we've got a lot of time here to go out at the back of the queue. Try and put some clean air. Let's go like there. Yeah, so... yeah, Alonso is going to have lots of clean air here. And he should. Oh my god, is he going to make this? Yeah, he does easily. Right, Alonso, he's got... Sainz is just... I think Sainz has timed that all wrong. Alonso up to 12th. So Sainz, I don't think he's going to have time to set another fast lap. Albon is still out there but hasn't improved. But Alonso into 12th. Okay, so 12th and... yeah, 12th and 16th we're starting. Not amazing. Fernando not making Q1. Right, so into the race we go. No rain predicted for the race weekend. A 2-stopper is what's being planned. I'm just thinking, could we potentially see this out? Can you do a 1-stopper in Suzuka? You can. You can. Can you even do a 1-stopper ending on the softs? You can. If you draw those hards out a long way, yeah, you'd get caught here. Or do you start softs and then end on the hards? Yeah, you can't really push if you go onto the hards. I'd love to get Fernando on a 1-stop. It would be amazing. Let's start on the hards and end on the mediums. Something like that. Can you push? You can't really push at all. Start on the hards. Have a little bit of a slow getaway. Get onto the mediums. If we just leave it something like that. Just for now. That gives us creates a strategy D. That's what we're going to go with for now. I don't normally like starting on the hards, but that is what we're going to go with. See if the 1-stopper can give us a little bit of momentum. We will still say push from the off, obviously. Just to try and get those race positions from the start line. And then what do we do with Guan Yu Zhou? So they say a 1-stopper... a 1-stopper medium to softs. Don't think it's quite going to work. But again, if you do that and you get a safety car... in fact, if you go add new stint, get another set of softs out, because Guan Yu Zhou's going to have... I'm tempted by that, you know. I'm tempted by that. We'll do a 2-stopper, but ending on the softs. 2 stops towards the end. See if that can work. If not, we can always change to go to the hards and maybe do a 1-stopper there. So lap 28, I think that is, for Guan Yu Zhou, and lap 27. Okay, so they'll be pitting at similar times, going on to different tyres though. So, okay, interesting. Now, I was going to look at the report for safety cars, but we saw in the last race at Singapore that it really doesn't matter because there's a 100% history of safety car, and we didn't get one in Singapore. So, right, hard tyres for Fernando, the medium tyres starting for Guan Yu Zhou. We're going to go against the grain in terms of these strategies. Here we go then for the Suzuka Grand Prix. We are away. It's, well, Verstappen and Leclerc on the front row. Alonso, let's get on board. Oh, I could do front wing. Now, let's get on board with Fernando on his hard tyres. Oh, Guan Yu Zhou's already overtaken Albon, which is good. Albon's coming back at him, but Guan Yu Zhou should have the inside here. Lots of soft tyres. What have we got? What have we got? Soft, soft, soft. We're the only team that are doing a different sort of strategy here, as Alonso has just dropped down to 11th. Vettel coming up his inside. Yeah, they're all on faster tyres. We're playing a bit of a longer game here with Fernando, so he can just take it steady. Once it settles down, then we'll see what sort of position we're really in. Guan Yu Zhou still battling with Alex Albon. There's Stroll in front of us, so we've got to be Bottas up in 5th. Bloody hell. That Alfa Romeo driven by Valtteri Bottas is absolutely incredible. So Alonso and Vettel still battling. You can still see there Vettel, Alonso trying to have a go at Daniel Ricciardo in front of him. Yeah, it's going to be tough on the softer tyres for everyone else. So let's just make sure that we keep an eye on the fuel for this first bit. And it'll be interesting to see. Are we going to get this done on Daniel Ricciardo? We are dropping the battery quite a lot. And I'm happy to keep... If Fernando Alonso can get this done, I'm not sure he's going to. He's going to try and squeeze Daniel Ricciardo. Can he squeeze him? He's going to have the inside here on the into the chicane, and he's got to get that position. Lovely stuff, right. Oh, it's not lovely stuff. Right, let's just pop this into neutral. The faster tyres for all of the other drivers now will kick in as we start lap 2. Zhou into 15th, sitting behind Lance Stroll. And yeah, Alonso in a McLaren sandwich at the moment. Still trying to keep pace. We know our tyres are going to go longer. We know we're doing a one-stop with Alonso. Again, we know with Zhou we're going to be going longer and hopefully making use of the pace we have towards the end of the race. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. At the moment, though, it is all sort of calming down. Verstappen and Leclerc well out in front. Sainz and Perez in behind. Bottas, Hamilton, Ocon, Norris, Alonso, Ricciardo, Vettel, and then another little group behind, and Yuki Tsunoda sort of being left behind at the back. So at the moment, it's Alonso who's sort of causing the problem on these hard tyres. He's holding everyone up behind him. Ricciardo's just got past, and yeah, we're struggling to keep pace. Even though we do get a little bit of DRS from time to time, these guys fly past us on the faster tyres. But yeah, if we look, we've got so much better wear than them. So they'll be doing a 2-stop, I imagine. They may be doing soft to mediums, but even then, the mediums at the end of the race will give out. They may do soft to hard. But if Alonso can stay around 11th, 12th... Oh, sector 2, we've got someone locked up. I'm going to suggest, was it one of the back markers? Someone run wide. It wasn't Schumacher, not Gasly, not Magnussen. It was Tsunoda, the back marker, obviously. But yeah, so Alonso on 89%. I mean, you've got Vettel, Albon, Stroll all on quite higher percentage tyres of softs. These guys usually using the softs they put into qualifying. But we know we can just manage this with Fernando Alonso. He's going to be doing a one-stopper, trying to make it work. Let's see what happens. So as you can see here, Lance Stroll lost his wing. He crashed out, so that's good for us because he's in the Alfa Romeo. At the moment, we've got Alonso in 13th. Zhou is just sitting behind him. So if we get into a view that looks a little bit better, we are going to tell Alonso just to say, don't fight, teammate. So we're going to let him through. We're going to let Guan Yu Zhou through if he can catch him up. But actually, no, we're not going to do that at the moment because Guan Yu Zhou should have enough natural pace to get past. But at the moment, the tyre choice isn't looking amazing with how we're falling back. But we've got to remember that Alonso is going to make up a lot of time with just that one pit stop. It's just seeing how far this team in front can make it work. So Guan Yu Zhou having a little battle with the Hasses at the moment. Guan Yu Zhou doing a 2-stopper is a little bit of a concern given he's still this far back. But we're not pushing the tyres at the moment. We are going to be pushing slightly harder when we go onto the softs. We're not doing too much with ERS either. So yeah, I'm not too disheartened at the moment. I mean, again, and we improved the car early on in the season. So I'm hoping that we can take what we've learned this year into next season, come back with a really good car for season 3 with Aston Martin. Well, I really hope we will be challenging the podiums a lot more, getting those good qualifying positions every single week, as Alonso has just got back past Pierre Gasly, which is good, I think. Or yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Okay, so the front runners are just coming in for their first pit stop. Sainz, Russell, Norris, Hülkenberg, Tsunoda, all into the pits. Obviously, we're going much longer than what the AI is doing. We may bring Zhou in a little bit early and not push both sets of softs. But Fernando on course to keep this strategy going, which means just one pit stop. And that's when we should start gaining the places. If we have a quick look then at the time where, yeah, all these people in front of Alonso will be coming in relatively soon. As you can see, Sainz is out behind Zhou and Alonso, but he'll catch them up pretty quickly on the softs. But he'll be back in. He's done soft to soft. Hülkenberg's gone soft to soft as well. So they're all doing the soft, medium. It's going to be interesting to see Zhou's doing the reverse of that, right? The medium, soft. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out at the end, because we should have a lot more pace. And here come all the other people into the pits. And again, they've pitted. So if we get a safety car or anything now, it's really going to favour the strategy of Alonso staying out a little bit longer, getting up in the position, coming in under safety car. Could be Verstappen runs wide straight after pitting. He's not going to be happy with that. But yeah, Fernando up to 5th. If the one stop works, it could be points for him. And Zhou is now getting DRS somehow off the back of Max Verstappen, probably because he did that spin. But we'll see how it's working. Both drivers on course with tyre wear at the moment, so we're not messing around too much. They're both saving a little bit of fuel. that we can use to push towards the end of the race. So yeah, it'll be interesting indeed. And we still have in front of us Albon, Vettel, Perez and Leclerc all to come into the pits. And right on cue, they are all into the pits other than Alexander Albon, who leads the race, and Alonso up into second place. Perez, Leclerc and Vettel all pit, so Zhou up to fourth. Obviously, neither of our drivers doing a pit stop yet, so yeah, hopefully, if we can pull this off, this will be quite good in terms of a strategy, change that we've gone for here. So 5 laps until Alonso's pit window opens, and Zhou has it in 6. So we've just got to manage the tyres, make sure we get to the optimal point, and then we'll be in. Okay, so we're on to the optimal pitting lap for Fernando Alonso. He will be going on to the mediums. He's got such a lot of life left in these tyres. I'm just wondering if do we pit him this lap? He's got such a lot of life left in those hard tyres. No, stick to the strategy. Keep it going. Zhou will be in next lap as well. So we are 9 seconds off the leaders, which is not too much of an issue, but it's going to be where we come out. I think we'll be coming out like 15th, but again, everyone else has to pit in front of us. And we started this race with both of us off the point. Sector 3, yellow flag. Somebody spun, was it? It looks like it might be K-Mag, according that he's gone to the bottom of the pile. So a yellow flag, yeah, Magnussen has a little spin. But Alonso sitting in 5th. Guan Yu Zhou is not doing too bad at the moment in 7th. Obviously, he's got 2 pit stops to use in this one, and obviously mixing up the strategy means we're not going to have a busy pit lane either. How is so Guan Yu Zhou's 41%, Alonso 49, obviously pushing very hard on his in lap to the pits here. So we'll have to see how this turns out. But Fernando Alonso will be coming into pit from 5th position on a 1 stop. He's made it work so far. Let's see what he can do. We just need a good stop for our Spaniard, our lead driver of our Spaniard in Fernando Alonso, who is now going to be pulling into the pits as he comes round this chicane. He's going to come in, and there we go. He's entering the pits. So come on, we need a good stop. We need a good stop here.
Yeah, confirm.
This is going to give us an idea of how long it will take for the team to do Zhou's pit stop as well. You can see Alonso tumbles down the order, but not too fussed about that. Right, Guan Yu Zhou onto a nice, fresh set of soft tyres. And again, you can push as your... we'll leave your DRS, actually. So 19 seconds or 2.48 for the tyre change.
They'll come to us.
And, okay, he's tumbling down. Should come out in front of Nico Hülkenberg, though, quite easily. It's quite a long pit stop here, isn't it, in Suzuka? 28 seconds. Yeah, okay, so Zhou's going to be in a little bit of trouble. But out comes Fernando Alonso, now racing against... we're just going to leave you on balance. When everyone else pushes, that's when we'll get you going. I'm tempted to get him to harvest as well, but not on his out lap, I don't think. So, yeah, okay, Fernando Alonso tumbles down the order, but everyone else is going to have to pit. 29 seconds pit stops is going to be very, very interesting here. It's going to be very interesting. In fact, let's harvest up Fernando's battery whilst we're sitting behind Nico Hülkenberg and getting the DRS as well, which we'll get on the long straight. So Guan Yu Zhou will also be pitting on this lap, so we're going to see what he's got in his locker. He is currently pitting from 7th place, so he'll come out towards the back as well. But again, hopefully all part of the strategy, and hopefully he can cut through the field after he does his pit stop on those soft tyres, with the ability to attack a little bit as well. So we're doing all right. I don't, honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen with Zhou's strategy, doing it the flip side of everyone else. They're doing either soft, soft, medium, or soft, medium, soft, and we're going medium, soft, soft. So it'd be very interesting to see. I'm sort of thinking, would it have made sense to do a 1 stop with Zhou in the position he was? We know those hards had good life. Alonso showed that, but too late now, because we're going medium, soft, soft, because we're sticking to the strategy. So yeah, Alonso's battery isn't really doing much harvesting. I was hoping for a bit better than that, but there is Alonso passing Hülkenberg. Is he going to get it done? I don't think he is. He's got the outside, he's got the inside for the next lap. Zhou is onto his soft tyres. He can push those tyres because he's got another set coming. But it's going to be very interesting to see where we come out here. So Hamilton's there. So off Hamilton in 5th is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 14. 11. That'll be 12. Yeah, Alonso should jump a lot of places He really should. And given the fact he's harvesting, he's going to have a lot of energy to deploy when the other teams come in to do their second stop. You can see Norris, Russell, 38%. Some of these medium runners might be doing a one stop, which then will screw over Fernando a little bit. But he's got 96% tyre, so he should outlast them till the end of the race, as long as we don't do anything stupid. We're in a good position if there's a safety car as well. So, yeah, let's see what happens in the back end of this Suzuka Grand Prix. Okay, so drivers coming in to do their second stop means now we're going to push Fernando just a little bit here and see if we can gain onto positions and overcut all of these people with the one stop. This is where we need to try and make hay while the sun shines. It's a phrase I use commonly on this save. We do have Zhou and Alonso together in 12 and 13. Sector 1, it's just the yellow flag. Somebody's run wide, so that's not too much of an issue. It's just we need to be, if there's a safety car, we need to react very, very quickly with Fernando Alonso. That's the issue. Okay, there's a crash on track. No safety car, though. Leclerc pits. Oh, he actually crashed and then pitted. Alonso set the fastest time, which is absolutely awesome. But, yeah, everyone now is coming into pit. So if we can manage these tyres, we're going to be in an okay position here. So we're nearly at the points, and lots of other people are going to be pitting very, very soon, which is absolutely awesome. That little push from Alonso has put him in such a good position. As Leclerc comes out with a new front wing, I'd imagine, because he's dropped down quite a lot. There's Alonso catching up to the Ferrari. Ricciardo's in. So Alonso to 11th, Zhou into 12th. Yeah, Zhou, I'm not sure what he's going to do. 29 seconds is a lot, right? It's going to actually bring him back out here. So we will see. We'll see what everyone else is going to do. I'm wondering if we put Zhou onto his next set of tyres when everybody else comes back into pit. So we'll see. We'll see about Zhou then. But Fernando is in a very good position. I'm very happy with that. So I'm just having a look at Guan Yu Zhou's pit strategy. If we extend those, we could go super hard push. If we go onto the mediums slightly early, we can full push the mediums and get to the end. Is that going to be better than going onto the softs? The softs are a faster tyre, right? Drag the softs out and go full send. Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, is that too? I mean, that's only given us. That's given us hardly any laps, isn't it? It's giving us 11 laps to make something happen. Or do we? Oh no, definitely not gone to the full wets. That's definitely not a strategy. Come in now when everyone else is roughly pissing, or maybe one lap later to avoid the traffic. And that gives us. Well, I mean, is there? I think we stay out one lap more and absolutely gun it at the end. Everyone's going to be on a similar tyre, right? That's why I'm like, do we go for the undercut? Do we go for a late race undercut? Yeah, I'm changing my mind. We're going late race undercut for Guan Yu Zhou, and we're going to absolutely burn those tyres at the end. So right now, let's just get you absolutely gunning it, Guan Yu Zhou, because you're going to come in next lap. Alonso, again, doing a decent job. Yeah, because we've got to react. So that Norris, Russell, Ricciardo are going to those mediums on the end. Stroll going to his hards on the end. It's going to be a tough one. Zhou started so far back on the grid that it's going to be very interesting to see how this one works out. Where is Zhou on the track? Okay, he's got to do the figure of 8, come back down. So he's got a bit of a while to pit. Do we give him another lap? Do we leave him out for another lap on those soft tyres, which are the fastest? He's still got plenty of grip. I'm just looking at that there. Yeah, he's got a lot of grip, hasn't he? I mean, again, then you're looking at going onto the softs, right? Then it makes sense. Oh, no, because we're pushing them now, aren't we? So we're going to give him 2 more laps on those soft tyres, absolutely pushing and gunning it. See what he can do in terms of closing the gap. Loads of other people now coming in. So this is where Alonso needs to make it count. If he can get ahead of Bottas on these mediums with plenty of life left, with not a huge amount of laps to go, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. So Fernando Alonso jumps up to 7th. Now, everyone else is going to be on faster tyres, and they will catch him. So Hamilton comes out on softs. Bottas is the one we need to beat. That is the race with Alfa Romeo. That is the one we need to beat, as we just need to keep an eye on Fernando's fuel there. Bottas is coming out on the soft, so Bottas is going to go for a charge. Hopefully gets caught in a bit of traffic though. Zhou's tyres moderately overheating. That's because we're asking you to push very, very hard, my friend. Just keep working hard. You probably will catch Fernando. And you two can have a little battle. That's totally fine for this position. Although we should really let Guan Yu Zhou through because he's going to do another pit stop. So, yeah, I'm thinking now if we put Zhou onto the hards, this could have been a very interesting race at the end of the Grand Prix with both of us doing a one stop. But we'll have to see how it works. So Zhou is tracking down Fernando Alonso. You can just see him there just in the front as we go to the wing cam. The thing is, we need to time this right to say don't hold teammates up. When can we get this? Hopefully, if we can get this done and catch him when he's got the ERS. Right, let's do it here. Don't fight teammate. Because, oh no, don't do it into the S's actually. Don't do it into the S's. That's a stupid position, Dave, to do it. This straight would have been fantastic down the start-finish straight. Vettel pits in as well, so that's another spot that we get in. Do you know what? There's no point in doing that because Zhou's going to be pitting this lap. So, right, pit this lap onto a fresh set of medium tyres that you're absolutely going to gun Guan Yu Zhou. That is what we want to happen now. So all eyes on Guan Yu Zhou. He's going to come out really far down. I don't think these softs, well, no, these softs were never going to make it to the end. So we're going to get him onto the medium tyre, and again, he's still got a couple of laps left in these softs, but I want to get onto the mediums and push it quite hard and see what he can do on them. I mean, Alonso's our point scorer, right? And if he finishes above Bottas, who's now down in 15th, both Alfa Romeos, 15th and 16th at the moment, isn't ideal for them. But yeah, Zhou, Hamilton is gaining on Zhou and Alonso. We've just got to make sure that these tyres do get through. They've been pushed a little bit harder than expected, but they should be fine. As yeah, it's tense. 13 laps to go. It's going to be very, very interesting. As so Guan Yu Zhou very soon will be coming into the pit lane. So we'll watch his pit stop. Hopefully it's a good one. So let's quickly do a little bit of math. So 1, 4, what's that? That's like 1, 5, 5.5, 6, 10, 12, 13. Yeah, he's going to come out behind Stroll, but it's a risky call. I understand it's a risky call. Pitting from 8th, Guan Yu Zhou onto the mediums to give him that little bit of life that allows us to push all the way to the end. Ocon is just coming down now, as is Ricciardo, Gasly and Bottas and all this battle. So yeah, Zhou's going to come out. And if he comes out in the DRS sort of zone of these cars, he's not going to. He's going to be a little bit far off. But they're battling, so he should be able to catch them. And I think, unfortunately for him, we're going to have to ask him to deploy as soon as he can, to be honest. But if he can catch Bottas, 6 seconds, he's on fresh tyres, pushing very hard. He should be okay. Alonso still sitting in 6th, still with the fastest lap. Lewis Hamilton is closing in on him. But it's not a dreadful position for Alonso. Norris is like 5 or 6 seconds behind. So hopefully, with 13 laps to go, Alonso can stay in these points. Bottas is the one we need to beat. That is the one. We need Ricciardo, Ocon, Vettel, all to hold up Bottas quite a lot, but to let Zhou through if that's at all acceptable. Sector 1, somebody's run wide. Going to suggest it might have been... and in Sector 2 and in Sector 1 again. What's happened here then? So someone's crashed. There's a yellow flag. Is it one of the back markers again? Schumacher crashed. They're not having a good day of it, Williams. They're having a bit of a shocker at the back at the moment. Guan Yu Zhou closing that gap. And there's Hamilton just about to get the move done, you would imagine, on Alonso on the next lap. So, okay, not too bad at all. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. Another crash on track just as we see Lewis Hamilton passing Fernando Alonso there on his soft tyres. Yeah, fresher soft tyres. That is the worry I have. Tsunoda has crashed again for Williams. Bloody hell, these guys are having a shocker, are Williams. But Zhou not really closing the gap as much as I would have liked. We might have to get him to push a little bit more. He's got to get close to Ricciardo and get involved in this battle with Gasly, Bottas and Ricciardo, which for all sense and purposes is helping out us and holding Bottas behind. Bit of a error from the Alfa Romeo strategist, it seems, there with Bottas, because he was riding high at one point. But yeah, what's that? 9 laps to go, 10 laps to go. We've got we're in a very good position with Alonso. Just need to see if we can make this work. We need to make sure we stay in that DRS zone, ERS of Hamilton, which we're struggling to do at the moment. Let's get on board with Fernando, see if he can reel this back in. If we get in the ERS, then we may be able to conserve a little bit of stuff along here. But it looks like if we just go forward, oh, someone's locked up. Sector 2 incident. I think Hamilton had ERS in that zone. Yellow flag again. Lots of yellow flags, but no safety cars so far. Hulkenberg doing it this time in the Haas at the back. Zhou really is closing that gap now. We've asked him to push his fuel a little bit more. We've absolutely yeeted all the battery for Fernando Alonso, and it's not helped him at all. He's even gone further back. So I think, Fernando, you just manage your race, mate. You just do what you need to do, and we try and make this work. Obviously, a safety car, we can pit Alonso, get onto the soft, really gun it at the end. So I'm not totally against where we are, but the likelihood of a safety car is pretty slim. Stroll into the pits again. Bottas is now leading that pack and probably will get away from Gasly, but he's got a lot of work to do to catch Alonso in this one. Zhou trying to close that gap as much as he can. Not really sure what else we can do with Guan Yu Zhou at the moment, so just have to sort of let it go. Sector 2, another yellow sort of flag, but that's only because someone gently ran wide. Was it someone over here at the back? Looked like it might have been Tsunoda coming back on. Oh, it was Ocon. Oh, no, that's not good. That's going to give Bottas a chance to catch him. That's irritating. Zhou, still 4.8 off Danny Rick, who's also on similar tyres, so that's why we're not gaining there. Yeah, Alonso, as you can see, really, the one stopper has worked really well up till now. Albon may pit as well, actually, to go for another set of softs, but we're going to try and stick it out with Fernando Alonso and see what he can do. There's Albon in front of him, who, I mean, we look much closer than 1.4 seconds, but I guess as you come out the corner, that's the killer. That's the killer where they can get the foot down earlier. So, yeah, 9 laps to go. We're in with a good shout of points for Alonso. Zhou not quite cutting through the field as I would have liked. So, Fernando Alonso has caught up with Alex Albon into the DRS now, which is absolutely awesome from our Spaniard, which is good. So, if we can get Albon here, because, I mean, Albon's on the mediums. They're on older mediums than us. He's clearly, everyone's going to the end now on whatever they've got. So, 6 laps to go. You can see this, what our DRS is doing, and it's huge that we have the DRS because it allows us to pull away from the cars behind in Lando Norris. So we're going to try and sit in this DRS for a while, charge up our battery, and then on the next lap, absolutely go hell for the leather to get past Albon and try and accelerate away from him as well. Because the last we want to do is go so slow with the harvest that it actually brings Norris and Russell back into our DRS train. So that's what the plan is at the moment. Zhou is catching Daniel Ricciardo, just not at a rate that we need it to be successful to get into the points. Good news for us, Bottas still hasn't caught Ocon's DRS, so that's looking very, very good in terms of us getting a point haul on top of the Alfa Romeo. So we've fully charged everything we can in that battery now, so we'll put it into neutral. See how this goes. We'll probably be back for the last lap of the race, I imagine, but we'll see if anything happens before that. Okay, so we're back well before that. We're back literally just further down the line where, as you can see, Norris and Russell are now right on our tails. And I think we're going to have to try and push this to get past Alex Albon because we're going to be getting quite a lot of battery off these few laps. It's just that Lando Norris is going to be behind us. What sort of tyre? They're on better tyres than us, quite considerable better tyres. So you'd imagine them to fly past us and Albon. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We should still get points. I don't think Vettel's got enough time to catch us up, but let's see. As Norris looks like he's going to go for a move there. At the moment, we're going to be in a DRS train, so I'm hoping that we've got enough about us. With 3 laps to go, could probably afford to push the tyres, but I don't want to do it too early. But yeah, Zhou closing the gap. He's not going to have enough, but you know, started 16th. He's going to finish 15th, so he has done a gain with his 2-stop strategy. I think, look, in hindsight, which is obviously a wonderful thing, we could have put Zhou onto a 1-stop and it probably would have worked out a lot better. And this is fine. I really like the fact that we're having a look at Albon when we're not asking for him. And we have got in front of him, so now is the time when we have to push. And unfortunately, we're going to have to push the tyres now, Fernando, and see what we can do. We're going to have to push, push, push. Try and get away from Albon while... So Norris are fighting behind. Yeah, they're having a big old squabble there. Yeah, Alonso, we need you to really get away from Alex Albon here. We can push the fuel as well.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Let's try it. Let's see where we get. Let's see where we get. Oh, Fernando's done a wonderful job. He's absolutely left Albon for dead, breaking the DRS to the Thai driver. And yeah, he's done a great stuff. With 2 laps to go, we're going to keep pushing the fuel, keep pushing the tyres a little bit harder than anticipated. We did have a bit of play left in there. We've left it till the end. Guan Yu Zhou is still trying his hardest as well. We'll get him to push. We'll get... do I get him to deploy? I think we have to, really. We have to try and get him to do everything he can to close that gap as much as possible to Ricciardo, although I don't think it's going to be enough. Bottas is still struggling. Alonso is there, but Russell's closing the gap on him again. So, yeah, 3 laps to go. It's going to be a bit of a tense end to see where this finishes. Albon completely dropping down the order.
3 more laps. 3 more laps.
Let's deploy again as we come round and out of these corners, just to see if we can break that to Russell. I don't think we're going to get the chance to do it. His fresher tyres proving to be very, very useful for him, as we're approaching a back marker there as well, which is a good sign. Always happy to lap people, to be honest. Yeah, we're. I think Russell and Norris are potentially going to get us here. If they do, we'll try and harvest up a little bit to sit in their DRS and harvest up. But it is going to be a tough ask as we come into what's going to be the final lap here. Oh no, it's not, because the leaders have already. They've just started lap 52. Sorry, so we do have a bit of time now. Alonso, this is interesting. Are we going to get? I don't think we are going to get DRS off this back marker, because he's going to move out of the way, but he may move back online and just block George Russell a little bit. He does, going into the chicane. That is going to cost George Russell some time, but I don't think it's going to be too bad for him. And Russell is now going to have DRS coming down here, and is probably going to absolutely gun past us quite easily. Yes, he is. So the next DRS zone, through the S's we're going to go. Norris hasn't gone past. Albon is dropping off ever so slightly. We do need to harvest up at some point. I need to keep an eye on the fuel as well for both drivers. Can we hold on to 7th place here above Lando Norris? He is hunting us down on those fresher tyres. 2 laps to go. I'm not ready to push the tyres fully yet. I know where the next DRS zone's there, but I don't want to lose that second gap to George Russell yet, so I'm not telling us to harvest through this point. This is the bit where we need to keep the pressure on George Russell and make sure we have that DRS. So Verstappen starts his final lap. Oh wow, the Red Bulls are well out in front. A 14-second lead for Perez, who's 6 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So right, I think, where is the detection zone? I think it's around here somewhere. I can't remember where the lines are. I should have looked in a bit more detail, but I think if we harvest up from here, 0.8, so we should get DRS when it kicks in. We should, hopefully. I'm trying to remember on the F1 game, where'd you get it? So there's one detection line. So we're within the second on that one. There's the next one. So we should definitely have DRS, which is going to pull us along. Norris is right on our tail. You can see our DRS flap was open.
So this is last lap.
Last lap. Attack. Push everything. Deploy. Push, push, push. We're already deployed with Guan Yu Zhou, so whatever he gets, he deploys. Right, Alonso, you've just got to stay ahead of Lando Norris. That's all your job is now. Let's go to TV cam and watch this unfold. The fuel is 0.00, so we should just about get over the line, maybe? Both drivers deploying. Zhou hasn't got a chance. We're just going to go and see what he can do to try and get a very good lap under his belt. But Lando Norris right there in our tail, but we are keeping pace with George Russell in terms of getting the DRS, which should make it a lot harder for Lando to pass us. But into the final lap of Suzuka. It's been a good drive from Fernando Alonso. He's made that one-stop count as Max Verstappen has won the Japanese Grand Prix. There is Sergio Perez to come over in second place. It's not a Haas in third. Don't worry about that. It is Carlos Sainz, who is a way back from third there, as Norris dropping off half a second gap now to him. ERS is completely dead. Let's just make sure we can cross the line and just put those back to balance very quickly. As it's been a very, very good race, and Fernando Alonso starting outside the top 10, going to be finishing in the points. That is pretty much confirmed with Albon in 10th. Bottas is out of the points, which is absolutely huge for this battle for fourth place in the Constructors. As Fernando Alonso, he's just got to defend. Over the line, he's going to come right at the end. Norris was so close to him, but Alonso makes it count, and he runs out of fuel right on the line. So we've got to make sure that Guan Yu Zhou actually makes this. We're going to drop him down into conserve. Guan Yu Zhou crosses the line as well. And he's going to pull over into the middle of the track. He's also going to run out of fuel right at the end of the race. Wow. Both drivers finish. Alonso in 7th place. Lovely driving. Zhou's gutted, but I think he actually did okay given the circumstances. Should have done a one-stop with both. We live and learn. Yeah, so a fantastic race from Fernando Alonso, up 5 places. Albon as well up 5 places. He did the one-stop, similar to our strategy there. Pierre Gasly, so Zhou started 15th, finished 15th. He didn't gain anything, actually. Apologies about that. Pierre Gasly up 4, Nico Hulkenberg up 3. They're Williams having an absolute shocker at the back, but a very easy win for Verstappen and a very easy 1-2 for Red Bull. But good for us, Valtteri Bottas is out of the points. So if we go to the drivers, we're not moving too much in these positions, but in the Constructors, it closes the point to the gap to 1 point to Alfa Romeo, which is absolutely massive for us at Aston Martin, because that's going to be quite a lot of prize money difference between us, which is absolutely awesome. Fernando Alonso with a good bit of experience, Zhou getting his experience as well, as did Drugovic. So all 3 drivers getting some good experience there. Lovely, lovely stuff. 4.5 million goes into the coffers, which is good. We'll be investing that back into the team at some point. I'm pretty sure of that. Next up is the Circuit of the Americas. 19 of 22. Only 3 laps to go. And our engines are in a pretty good position to get us to the end of the season as well. So we exceeded expectations again, which is good. Let's have a quick check of the drivers. No points there. 1 point for Guan Yu Zhou. Let's start getting all of these up to 83 as well. Drugovic doesn't have a point to look at. Anyone in the staff? No points at all. Right, we'll be back in 11 days in game time for the Circuit of the Americas. Catch you then. Thanks for watching. Cheers.